Alright, hi folks. I've been in a creative mood lately, and the other day I thought of making perch streamers, and then I thought, how would it look like if I used classic materials, and this is what I came up with. So I'm thinking of showing you how to tie this, and later on I might try to make a modern version of a perch streamer. So let's go. The hook I'm using is Amazon PA30, like the previous one as well. It's a bit shorter than what I would use for example, Hecklewing streamers, but just right for this kind of job. I have black thread, 12/0, starting behind the hook eye, attaching the thread, and first we cover the shank. Then I'll attach a little bit of small golden Unifrench tinsel to make a rib for the fly. Again, I'm attaching the tinsel with the whole length of the body to keep the body even. And you return with the fresh frozen egg, touching turns to cover the shank, making it evenly as possible. Then I should make the tail. For that I have golden pheasant tippet. So you can strip out the hairs that you don't, the fibers you don't need, and then pick out a bunch of anything you could use for the fly. Try to keep them in a row when you pick it. And then, as you can see, the other side is more vivid and the other side is kind of dull. So try to fold the bunch so that you get a good color on both sides of the tail and that the tips are aligned. You can snip the butts off. If you have a hair aligner, that will do quite nicely, but you can also try to form a good bunch in your hands. A good length for the tail is a little bit over the hook point, so it's pretty much close to the red, black stripe in the fibers, about there. They are actually snipped pretty much to the correct length, so there you go, just wrap them on. Don't have too high tension so that when you roll it on they don't spin around the shank. Try to keep them on top. If they start to roll, you can turn them back a little bit. Just keep going. Alright, There we go. If it looks like the body doesn't look good, you can use underbody. An underbody strip to make it look better, but I think this is pretty good. And then I have a flat golden tinsel. We're not making it for the whole bottom, maybe 2/3 of the length. So this is above the correct position to attach it. So set the tip of the tinsel on and with a few wraps place it on and start wrapping it. Touching turns so that the black thread won't be visible between the spaces, or that you don't leave any space between the wraps. And we're making a double layer just to be sure. And be careful when getting close to the tail so that you don't have the black thread showing behind, and just return to the attaching point in the same fashion as you did before. Almost there. And one more turn to make sure. There we go. A couple of wraps on, and turn it the other way, and a couple wraps in front. Makes a tight attachment there. So here's the beginning of the body. Then, to make the rest of the body, return with the telling thread a little bit backwards. I've got some silver. We'll start with olive, which is a good color to have to a perch fly. We don't need to make it tight, actually we want it quite fluffy and tossy. So wrap it on loosely. That much will probably do. Maybe a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Like so. It wants to fall off a little bit. Right there. Alright, and now I'm actually starting to make kind of like a gradient towards the hook eye, so I'll continue with very brown color. Like so. And we finish with some orange silver. So that's to make kind of a little bit like a red throat to the fly, but also marking the orange fins on a perch, just like the orange color in the pheasant tippet. Now it's a good point to think about how far behind the hook we want to continue with this, because we need to make a head to the fly, but also we don't want to leave it too far behind, which kind of actually happened with the previous fly. So if you look at the previous fly, there's a little gap between the throat and the head, and we don't want that. Let's see how I perform. So there we go. Now we can start wrapping the rib. Even terms, I think about 5 turns on the colon tinsel, 2, 3, 4 wraps in the duck body. Now it's kind of essential to look at how the body looks, how it ended up. Cut out the tinsel. All right, I think I'm fine with this. I'm kind of like still practicing this myself too, so try to bear it. I want to brush this open so that some of the silver will actually cover the tinsel while fishing. So it will give kind of like the perchy color to the fly and the body further than just the place where I put the dubbing. And it will kind of dim out the flashy golden tinsel. This looks actually pretty neat. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. That's where I want the wing to be. Alright, for underwing, I'll be using turkey feather, picking a decent width of the turkey. This fly might not need an underwing, or I could make an underwing with some bucktail, but I think this is more suitable to a classic style fly. Stroke the wing. If there's any separated strands, you can marry them back and make it straight. So you've got to get rid of the curve that the might have like that, so stroke it enough to make it straight. And about yay long, I think. Place it on the tip of your finger and press it against the body. Line the other half so that the feather won't come beneath the shank. Put the thread between your fingers and make a round under the hook eye and tie it to your left. Don't pull too hard so that the wing won't spring up. slide your fingers back a little bit, make a couple rounds, and see where we are. Yeah, that works. We don't want to stuff the head, so snip out the waist ends. The fly still looks kind of intact. Kind of. That's where we are. Like so. So there's an underwing. Alright, next up, tying the actual wing. I have prepared strips from bronze mallard. Again, try to stroke the fiber straight. Prepare the wings carefully. You can try and marry the wings and fold them on top. It's a good technique to make a mallard wing. This time I think I'll place them on separately. The length of the wing should be a little bit further from the underwing, but definitely not longer than the tip of the tail. That looks right. Hold the wings, pick up the thread, make a round loosely and tight carefully. Few rounds and see where you're at. This side. Oh, it's escaping. So let's go back. Make it again. This is why you should use wax on the thread. That's right, the thing. Lift the wings carefully and pick up the waist ends. Cover the tips. Return. Now the throat is in correct place. Right there. No gap. So a little wrinkle in the wing, but I'll be fine with it. Alright, then moving the final face, making cheeks and an eye to the fly. For the cheeks I have lemon wood duck, sorry, and I found there's some feathers that have black and white tips, but I don't think the black and white suit this kind of fly that well. They're beautiful feathers, but at this time I'm going with the regular lemon wood duck. I've paired triangle cock eyes on top of it, so I'm tying them on at the same time, and it's a careful, delicate process to go. So not sure if you can see it well when I'm doing it, but place it on, make the proportion right, grab the feathers and make a few turns with the light tension. And if it sits right, snip off the waist ends, and I'm going to put a little bit of super glue and top to make sure it stays in position. So here we go. Little dab will be fine. The other side is kind of harder. You can try to move it around, find a good spot, good position. Make sure that the length is okay. And then again, place it on top. Start wrapping it lightly. Then what we have left is just making a head for the fly. So work the thread behind the hook eye and start building the head with touch and turns. Go all the way up and see how much of the thread you actually want there. This should be already enough. Not use so much of it. And we're good for finishing the rest. Let's go with the double knot. Yeah. There. Finally, varnishing the head. I have a separate dabbing needle to do this. I don't want to mess around with a better needle. There we go. I think that's pretty neat. The wing sits on it quite nicely. The throat looks good, and the colors overall are pretty damn fine. The other eye is a little bit short, but hey, I'm not perfect. What do you think? Let me know. Thanks for watching.